Hi, I'm Michelle, and today we'll be discussing the methods you can use to form your LLC in Minnesota. Now, we're going to be covering the steps involved in starting your LLC, the forms that you're going to need, the naming requirements, and the 5 main steps needed to actually register your Minnesota LLC. I'll also be explaining the importance of having a registered agent and a very key term known as piercing the corporate will. Now, if these terms aren't familiar to you, then I highly recommend that you watch this video. More than 74,500 firms in Minnesota state, providing raw materials to more than 100,000 agricultural firms. Now, the primary sector of agriculture is contributing around $75 billion to the state. Moreover, the state also ranks 4th in the milk production industry, now which shows a significant contribution of the dairy products into the businesses. Secondly, the manufacturing business is rising day by day, resulting in around 8,300 active manufacturing firms in the state. The employment provided by the manufacturing sector has risen by 11% over the past couple of years, with a total contribution of $55 billion. You can start your Minnesota LLC by 3 methods. Number 1 is that you can do it yourself, in which case you can choose to fill out the online forms, or you can send it off via mail. Number 2 is that you hire a professional service to do it for you, which is the most easy and secure method out there. We personally recommend TailorBrands as one of the best services out there for this purpose. Number 3 is that you can go ahead and hire an attorney. Now, coming to a very important question and a very common question, what exactly is an LLC? An LLC is a hybrid business entity combining a corporation's characteristics with a partnership or sole proprietorship. It separates your personal assets from your business assets, thus giving you personal asset protection. Now, when you're starting off your LLC in Minnesota, you mainly have to file your certificate of formation with the state and pay a filing fee of $155. Now, in this video, we'll be discussing options number 1 and number 2. But we're going to be placing emphasis on why exactly you need a professional service to do it for you, because you have to make sure that you're doing your LLC work correctly. This is one of those things where you cannot afford out missing on key information or have any misunderstandings. TailorBrands is a really good and competent professional service that you can get, because forming an LLC is not just filing the certificate of formation, but is also deciding on a name, hiring a registered agent, creating an operating agreement, and obtaining an EIN. Now, all of these can be done under one roof with TailorBrands. I'll be leaving the links in the description below. You can just go there and check them out. We're now going to discuss in detail the 5 important steps that you must cover when you're forming your LLC in Minnesota. The first step to starting off your LLC in Minnesota is basically choosing the business name. Pretty simple, right? Now, before you name your businesses, you must know that the name should be easy to remember, available in the state, and should be following the LLC naming guidelines. You can go and find out the naming guidelines at startmyllc.io. The 4 key things that you need to be aware of when you're naming your LLC is that number 1, your business name should be available, and no other existing business in Minnesota can share that name. Each business name is unique to its owner. Now, LLC and limited liability company should be there as a suffix in the company name. You cannot use any name for your business that is confusing or could be potentially misleading. Terms such as Treasury, State Department, FBI, CIA, and so on should not be included. Terms like bank, university, attorney, doctor can be included, but only after you fill out the additional requirements by the Minnesota state government. If you do not wish to file your LLC right now, but you do want to hold on to the name that you've decided, then you can reserve your name for 1 year. Now, to keep the name, you have to file a name reservation application and pay $35 if you're filing by mail and $55 if you're filing online. Now, to reserve your name with Minnesota Secretary of State. Second and highly vital step to forming an LLC in the state of Minnesota is to appoint a registered agent. A registered agent is an entity that will act and work on your LLC's behalf and will receive all the important paperwork and other official government correspondence in Minnesota. Hence, hiring a competent registered agent for your LLC is necessary. You need to make sure that your registered agent in Minnesota is a resident of that city or has a physical street address over there. Now, their business address is used as the LLC's principal address in Minnesota. Most LLC formation companies also provide registered agent services. TailorBrands is a great LLC setup service, and even if you buy the cheapest plan of $49 per year, you also get a registered agent service and many other services at a very reasonable price. Coming on to the key thing to note when getting a registered agent is the importance of having one and having a legit one. Because in case of any lawsuit or if you get sued, the lawyer of the other party is going to do what is known as piercing the corporate will. Now, most people believe that they're setting up their LLC for tax purposes, but the real reason for setting up your LLC is that you limit your liability. Now, basically what it's doing is that it's creating a divide between your personal assets and your business assets. So if you're sued in your business, they cannot go after your personal assets. Now, when you're sued, the attorney who's the one suing you is going to start looking for cracks in your LLC. And this is where they're going to pierce the corporate will. The first thing they're going to do is check whether you have a registered agent, are they legit, and have they been filing the appropriate paperwork. The third and another important step in forming an LLC is to file a certificate of formation. The Minnesota Articles of Organization is a legal document needed to officially register your business with the Secretary of State. It costs $155 to file your certificate of formation in Minnesota. The certificate of formation includes details like the name of your LLC, registered agent's name, address, employee details, and the structure of your company, whether it's member managed or manager managed. Before you start hiring employees in Minnesota, one should really know about the rules and regulations thoroughly so that you can avoid any of the future issues. We personally suggest that you use TailorBrands to file the certificate of formation because they provide an easier way to fill out the form without having any confusion or missing out any of the steps. Now, if you do get stuck anywhere, they do have a live chat option where you can go, ask your questions, and they're going to help you out. The fourth step is filing the operating agreement. An operating agreement is an internal document that legally outlines the proprietorship and operating procedures of your LLC. Now, this document is vital as it ensures that all the business owners are on the same page regarding how they operate, their voting power, business resolution, and a lot more. It helps reduce future conflicts. Now, when it comes to filing the Minnesota LLC operating agreement, the state doesn't really require you to have a very comprehensive operating agreement. But it is ideal that you have one that contains the details of your entire business operation. It's recommended that it should be done using a professional service such as TailorBrands, since they know exactly what to do and you won't have to worry about missing out any of the details. The agreement template is drafted for a very small fee of $29. EIN, also known as the Employer Identification Number, is a 9-digit number given by the IRS to make it easier to identify the types of businesses for tax purposes and taxes in general. Now, the EIN is necessary for any active business or any form of businesses for that matter. An EIN is needed when the LLC hires employees. Now, to obtain an EIN, one has to fill up a form which can be done either online or you can do it by mail and just submit it to the IRS. You can also get an EIN assistant through TailorBrands who can help you with the process. I'm going to be leaving the links to all of the resources in the description below. You can go there and check out which of the options fit your requirements. But for now, I'm going to be showing you how to file the forms using TailorBrands. So this is the website for TailorBrands. And as you can see on the website, there's option to set up your LLC, and you can also design a logo, merch, and the website itself for your brand in case you need one and haven't really gotten around to getting it. I'm going to go into form an LLC. Now choose the state that you're setting up your LLC in. Add your business name. You can check for the name availability here, which will save you a lot of time. Or alternatively, you can choose the method that I told you earlier by going to the business entity name search. Click on the type of services that you're offering. You'll have to pick which stage of your business that you're on, whether it's still in the idea stage or it has been set up and fully running. Choose what sort of income your brand will be. Choose whether your business will have a physical address to receive the documents, and also whether there'll be a dedicated person there who's going to receive these. Select the number of employees. Now you have to fill out the information for your business, like your name, phone number, email address. Now choose whether you want to opt for a registered agent or not. TailorBrand charges $199 annually for hiring a registered agent. If you don't have one, then I highly recommend that you get one through them, because the one thing you can't risk is not having a legitimate registered agent. You're going to need an EIN, like I discussed before, for tax-related purposes. If you don't have one, or you're overwhelmed by the process required to get an EIN, then just let TailorBrands do it for you. It's going to cost you $99. Pick if you want to file for compliance. It will cost you $199 when you do it through TailorBrands. Here you can choose whether you want to have your business branding done. If you already have things like logos, domain, and a website, then just move forward. Select if you want to speed up the process. You can form the operating agreement using TailorBrands if you haven't made one already, or you are unsure of how to proceed with making the agreement by yourself. See if all the information that you chose and entered is correct, and check the final billing as well. You can now proceed to pay for the service, and that's all you need to start and form your LLC. Now that you've created your Minnesota LLC, what's next? There's still a few things that you're going to need. You're going to need a company business bank account and a credit card. File the Minnesota business permits and licenses, get general liability insurance and professional liability insurance, which covers your employees. And you need to file the Minnesota annual report every year. I hope this detailed video helped you out on how to start your LLC in Minnesota, and I wish you the best of luck if you're starting off your business there. Please continue supporting our channel by liking the video, subscribing to our channel, and clicking the notification button. Thank you for watching.